Hey everyone, so today we are going to be doing some Zentangles. Zentangles is a project that you might have done previously with me, and if you haven't, it's a really fun, relaxing way to make some art and using the element of art, line. Line is one of the most important things we use in art. We use it to draw, we use it to write, and today we're going to use it to kind of relax, but we're going to make some beautiful artwork using line design. So when you look at examples of line, when you see patterns especially, there's a ton of options for how you can create patterns using line. You can repeat lines over and over. You can combine different lines like wavy and straight, zigzag, dots. You can make shapes. So patterns are endless in what you can create. And we often tell you in art, you can make your own patterns too. So it might not be something that we typically see. Here's another example of some lines. So just ignore the your choice part. This is part of a little art game. But you notice that, again, it can be a combination of many different lines. When we technically Zentangle, you want them to be a little bit fun and a little bit complex. So what I mean by that is you can do patterns, but you can combine many different lines to create interesting imagery. So here's a good example of how you can do it and what I mean. So you can do straight lines to make them look like they're overlapping in a pattern. You can do curved lines to create a checkerboard. You can use these U shapes to create a flower pattern. So it's just the use of line and kind of just letting your hand go when you draw your patterns and designs. And there's a great example. So how we're gonna use the Zentangles is you're gonna take your paper or whatever you're drawing on today, and I want you to turn it horizontally. You can do it vertically, but I think it's a little easier horizontally. And I want you to have a couple options. So your first option is to draw 6 to 8 loopy curvy lines. And when you do this, you're going to create options and sections for where you can put your designs. So all these loops and new shapes that are made can be all different Zentangles. It's giving you a place to put your designs. The second option is to draw a large block letter, maybe for your initial, and we're going to draw that in front and then add 6 to 8 lines behind it to create an interesting pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw in Sharpie today. I'm not going to use pencil. I'm going to be brave. You have the option with this to just use Sharpie because I think it looks really lovely when you just be brave with the marker and just let your patterns and designs go. So if I'm going to do a block letter design, I can turn my paper vertical. I'm going to do it horizontal. I'll do a block letter L. And I will have examples that I can leave on the screen of letters so that we can draw them. It's my block letter L. Very simple. And like I said, now I'm going to do 6 to 8 looping lines. So I'm going to stop when I hit the letter, pretend I went behind, loop up. You can cross them, you can curl them. There's 2 lines. Here's 3. I'll do one over here. Go behind the L. There's 4. That one really did some interesting loops. Do a short one over here. 5. Do another. 6. I could do 2 more or I could stop here. I'll do 7. And I'll do 1 more, just a small one up here, 8. So those 6 to 8 lines really create a lot of interesting shapes that we can now Zentangle into. So using the screen that I'm going to have up for you to look at and the different patterns, now you can just start to Zentangle. So it could be as easy as just starting with the first pattern that comes to your mind. I always start with stripes. So again, you're just going to be taking these patterns and now plugging them in and Zentangling into these new spaces that were made. Now the other option is you don't have to do a block letter. So if you just did 6 to 8 tangles, you can then Zentangle inside of them. And my kind of rule is I try to stay in the shape that was made and I don't continue the pattern on. So I'll then switch to a different pattern. And hopefully when we finish this, it'll really make your block letter in the middle really stand out with all of those interesting patterns behind. So you're going to continue to do this. I want you to just try to relax as you make your patterns. Try to enjoy the process. You can then add color later on as well if you want to add color or use colored markers for your patterns. So you have a lot of options with how to complete this. So I hope you relax, I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to finish this section and then I'm going to pull up my screen so that you can see patterns to use in your own art. I only did 3 sections. You can kind of see here with the A what the general idea is. So I hope you have fun Zentangling. I hope you relax and thanks for coming. Bye.